We talked yesterday about the absurd cost, millions of dollars, of these countless investigations and congressional hearings and reports and more hearings and more investigations requested by Republicans related to the September 11th attacks in Benghazi. Okay. And Republican Congressman Darrell Issa, I don't know how he's pronouncing his name these days. He's been one of the leaders of the Benghazi was Obama's specific fault, and he and Hillary and everybody else is guilty of who knows what movement. He's been really spearheading that. He went on Fox News, and it seems now that we're not getting very far, proving that there was some kind of crazy evil conspiracy related to Benghazi. Darrell Issa is moving on to the IRS so-called scandal. This is yet another one where Republicans are insisting that President Obama was specifically involved in directing the IRS to place extra and disproportionate scrutiny on the nonprofit status of conservative groups specifically. It runs counter to reality. It runs counter to fact. It runs counter to evidence. But this doesn't really stop people like Darrell Issa from continuing their investigation. And I even use that term a little bit loosely. So Darrell Issa goes on Fox News and he says, well, the biggest tool we have in this investigation into the IRS, quote, scandal is to shame the administration, essentially to shame President Obama. Here he is talking to Brian Kilmeade on Fox News. Check it out.
Chairman, what you need is you need some type of threat of retribution. But it doesn't seem as though you have it. Your committee has it. What could you do if they continue to stonewall you?
Well, our tools in Congress are limited. Sometimes the biggest tool we have is to shame the administration. That's not our goal. Our goal with Lois Lerner was to get her to tell. We still are hoping to get her to proffer through her attorney something that would be useful since she has waived her Fifth Amendment. She clearly testified, then took the Fifth, then testified some more.
They actually have many tools. They have way more tools than just shaming President Obama. They have Fox News, for example, which has been the mouthpiece of all of these faux scandals. Benghazi, IRS. Fox News is a great tool that Republicans have. They have churches, right? As we know, the Republican Party has relied on the tool of churches for years and years to push their agendas, even related to things that have no connection to actual church teachings. Like, for example, Benghazi. That's a really good example. Or the IRS. I think that Darrell Issa is wrong. There are many tools that Darrell Issa has access to. And isn't it the height of irony that Darrell Issa, who has no shame, remember the allegations of arson and insurance fraud that he was involved in years ago? He has absolutely no shame, saying our best tool, Lewis, is to shame President Obama into doing what? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's going to lose people here too, because this whole thing with the IRS is a bit nuanced, whereas Benghazi was kind of like, okay, attack in Benghazi, someone died, president bad. That resonated with people. I don't think this is going to.
No, and the reality is that, well, let me take a step back. I hope the reality is that we've gotten past most people who even care about the so-called IRS scandal, realizing that there is no scandal here, that it actually turns out that both liberal-leaning and right-wing-leaning and non-political, all sorts of different nonprofit organizations had their status examined, and that I believe one or two organizations actually lost that status, and they were liberal-leaning, not conservative-leaning. Hopefully people are somewhat connected to reality on that.